Incoming message decrypted. Incoming message decrypted. Incoming message decrypted.
Brigadier Dog speaking. Just thought I'd lay down some home truths before we start. Welcome to International Elite Reconnaissance, a proud worldwide investigative espionage fighting organization. In fact, it's the worldwide investigative espionage fighting organization. But that doesn't make us invincible, not by a long shot. There's plenty of espionage and international crime going on out there. We only hear the half of it. That's where you come in. Usually after the rumors and unofficial information department have picked up the slightest essence of international frightful wickedness, that's when we send you in. You're one of the agents in the field. But you're not on your own, no. We wouldn't leave you completely high and dry. There's a network of highly skilled agents, most of whom know as little as you do, but that's what the secrecy game is all about. A couple of things before you start. Do you see those buttons on the audio playback device? Stop and pause. Those buttons. Well, as soon as you hear this sound, you must press one of those buttons. Anyway, the text will tell you the rest. Things sometimes work out, and if they don't, well, retrace your steps, that's what I say. Go back to the beginning if it's not too late. After all, we are talking about missions to save the world here, a matter not to be taken too lightly. Brigadier Dogs signing off.
Reports are just coming in. The entire Donatello collection has been stolen from its home gallery in the center of...
Often takes place in private-owned West...
Art experts all over the world have been horrified at the thefts of these precious paintings.
They came through the roof and must have swung on the ropes and whisked the masterpieces away. What will the poor school children who visit here every day look at now?
The fresco, painted by Vasari, has been chiseled from the wall of Clement VII's room in the Palazzo Vecchio in Florence. Since the art thieves will even go as far as stealing frescoes, police have been posted at the Sistine Chapel to make sure that no one steals the roof.
The art thieves have struck again. Jean-Jacques of the Ministry of Arts has said that he is outraged at the thefts.
I am outraged!
More on this item later. In the meantime, I have an important message for a certain secret agent. Turn off the radio and switch on the CD player. That is all.
This is an important mission, Secret Agent. Paintings and masterpieces from all over the world are being stolen at the rate of 3 a week. By all accounts, it appears to be an international conspiracy, which puts it into our jurisdiction. You are to infiltrate the ring of thieves, find out what they plan to do with all the paintings, and bring the criminals to justice. We know they're going for pieces dating from the 15th and 16th centuries, the Italian Renaissance period, so you can start by stealing one of those yourself. This is your mission, should you choose to accept it. Good luck, Secret Agent. This laser disc will self-destruct in 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4...
Stop right there.
Back off.
There must have been a mix-up with the lots. We're supposed to be doing this job.
Everything's blown now anyway.
Come on, Lady Slight. Let's kill them and make off with the booty.
Shh, I'm thinking. You, throw us those paintings.
You didn't say that you'd be taking hostages.
Don't worry, Brief. We know what we're doing. Just check that the pictures are cool.
Yes, she will be pleased. The first is The Cardinal by Raphael, circa 1510. The second is Bruegel's The Triumph of Death, circa 1565. The Cardinal bears the special mark, but the Bruegel is useless. Of course, you can always sell it for a fortune later.
Drat, I knew it. What a waste of time.
We still have one. Anyway, according to the brief, there weren't any other suitable paintings in the Prado. And besides, we may have another hand to help us with all this extra work.
Lady Slide?
Quiet, glasscutter. I think our new friend owes us some service. After all, they know who we are now, so they don't have much choice but to work for us. And I'm sure we all want to be rich. Honor amongst thieves.
Honor amongst thieves?
Yes, the Cardinal has the special M mark.
And they might just come in useful for the next job. And that special little break-in. Stick with us, mystery footpad, and you'll be rich. Double-cross us, and we'll kill you.
Next stop, the Louvre.
Secret Agent Jill McCullen here. We've had Cali Codecracker specs going through all the different ciphers to identify the symbol on the Cardinal painting.
I ran a check against a whole string of symbols and ciphers. The mark you gave us matches a series of guild marks from 16th century Italy. The fact that the mark was so hidden suggests it may have been part of a secret society or outlawed guild. Files Jill has more on this.
The skull and the M Guild marks are rare. If there is a link between the mark and the thefts, it's possible that there are more of these marks in other paintings. Most painters understand the properties of their paint, so it may be reasonable to assume that artists could hide secret messages under removable layers of paint. With city-states at war, Renaissance Italy was a period of quickly changing loyalties. Like mercenaries, the skills of individuals could be purchased for periods of time. Artists like Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo were employed for their engineering design skills. They were often unique in their approach to the design of defense and attack devices. As well as being part of artist guilds loyal to one patron, there may have been further collaboration between artists working in related fields. If the M Skull Guild mark depicts one of these societies, it may represent the Ars Militae group, a dark guild of artists and craftsmen dedicated to the designing and construction of war devices and weapons. One of the reasons why this group may have been so secretive was because they had a sideline interest in human anatomy. The study of the human body was only possible through midnight grave robbing and the illegal dissection of dead bodies. Because the group appeared to be fascinated with war and death, the name Militae changed to Mors, the English equivalent being death, hence the skull logo. Established in the 1500s, the group was taken over in around 1520 by a man who was known as Hieronymus Sileno. His real name remained a secret, although he was possibly Jean de Miroir or Giacomo Capriotti, both tempestuous students of Da Vinci's. What is known is that the guild became more extreme in its practices. The guild seems to have been pan-European, stretching right into Germany and Holland, and having influence in Spain and France. In 1527, the Pope denounced the society as evil and heretical. This would perhaps explain the mysterious disappearance of many of the guild members, and indeed Hieronymus Sileno in the 1530s. Folklore states that the crusading Duke Felhain led a band of soldiers from Oceanavia and cleared the area north of Milan. A quote from Duke Felhain's diary reads, "Of all witches and most heretical sorts, Hieronymus Sileno is indeed the devil incarnate." Knowing the notoriety of Duke Felhain, Hieronymus was probably beheaded. Most of the work and wealth from the Moors Guild is believed to be hidden in the Cave of the Tortured Soul, accompanied by stores of gold with its pure properties, hoarded for constructions, pigments, and alchemy practices. The location of the cave workshop was a best-kept secret and remains so to this day.
This will be different from your first initiation test. We need someone foolish enough to go in and steal what is already stolen. Down there is the mountain lodge of the infamous trapper. The trapper's cottage, they call it. At the moment, he stands between us and a great deal of wealth. He is currently abroad, but then he's not the sort to worry about home security. Guess why they call him the trapper? You must retrieve the rosewood casket. Get in and get out. You have 10 minutes, starting from now. Now jump!
You left your channel open, so we've got archives seeing what they can find on the rosewood casket. In the meantime, I decided to get Agent Jill McCullen to revise the trapper's dossier. Be careful, Secret Agent. The trapper is notorious for his use of deadly traps and gadgets. He has a record as a jewel thief, cat burglar, and suspected assassin. All-round rotter, in my opinion. He has skills in the antique art of handmade clocks, watches, and clockwork toys. He was driven out of business by the rise in the sale of plastic digital watches and coffee-making alarm clocks. Shame, really. He's a fine craftsman, by all accounts. It's reckoned that this is the reason why he enjoys creating overly complicated moving part mechanisms that always have a morbid twist in the tail. His last gift to the Duchess of Bavaria was an automatic mouse squeezer. Yes, that's what we thought. Archives had some pictures, but I'm sure you haven't had breakfast yet. Brigadier Dogs, signing off.
We've got an important appointment! Oh, you're still alive. That's a good sign, I suppose. You know, if I wasn't against working with strangers, I'd reckon that you and I would make a good team. I'd have to clear it with the glass cutter and the cat burglar club first, though. For the moment, I don't want to hear a word out of you. I've got some serious flying to do. Catch up on some sleep if you like.
Jill McCullen, Secret Agent. I hope that you can hear me. I'm transmitting on low volume in case you have company. A mystery surrounds the rosewood casket. It probably dates back from middle to late 16th century, and its gold-inlaid decoration displays the finest Renaissance craftsmanship. Its contents are a mystery. This adds to the mystique of the artifact. Sold very quickly at an auction recently for an overvalued £2 million, it was nicknamed Pandora's Box, since death comes to anybody who opens it. 3 out of its 7 previous owners have mysteriously died near the box, so you may not want to take your chances with it. Apart from this, the casket has little historical value. We can't assume that the trapper stole it. He may have bought it himself, as the auction's buyer was anonymous. Well, hello, darlings. Have you brought the goodies my clients asked for? What am I saying? Pleasure before business, that's what I always say. Horace?
Yes, ma'am.
Bubbly all round, I think. Oh, and How about some caviar, sweetie?
Very good, Mom. I've had a crate of the finest champagne, chilling in anticipation of the arrival of your guests. The caviar will be along shortly.
And have some prepared for the guards and crew. I wouldn't want to leave them out. After all, we're all in the same boat. I'm sorry, Horace, I couldn't resist.
Yes, Mom. And the guests, they'll be wanting the payment.
Yes, yes. Here, have a glass, everyone. To wealth.
To wealth.
You did manage to steal all the paintings, didn't you? And maybe you also acquired that small but very important casket. Horace, pay the cat burglars.
Very well, Mom.
You will be paid the other 15 million shortly.
But you said...
I know what I said, Miss Slight. But if I were you, I'd take this money now. Unless, of course, I tell the Cat Burglar Club and the rest of the world of your recent exploits.
But you can't. The agreement was...
The paintings and the casket are an investment. You, like myself, will have to wait for the payoff. You should trust me. I can supply good references.
Come on, Glasscutter, let's get out of here. 2 days, Furs, 2 days, or you may find those paintings go missing again.
I hope your locks are secure.
You have my word, Miss Slight, and my word is my honor and bond. If you are going, perhaps the new member of your gang would like to join me in celebrating your success.
We have work to do. Pay on demand. Well-paid work.
We'll see you soon, Furs.
Footpad, we'll leave you your share and one of the helicopters. Just watch her. She's as crooked as the rest of them. Goodbye, Furs.
Au revoir. It was a pleasure doing business with you. I love my work. I mean, what's a modern girl to do in a modern world? I only want everyone to be rich and happy, even if it means letting a few heads roll. More champagne, dear?
Secret Agent, your signal is breaking up. We're having problems getting through to you. The ship you're in is signal shielded.
Here we are. Welcome to my own personal Aladdin's cave. May I introduce Ms. X and Mr. Y, expert cartographers and master criminals extraordinaire.
No visitors, Madam Furs.
Visitors are not allowed.
This is no ordinary guest. This is a master thief, robber of the rosewood casket. I hope that you are satisfied with the paintings and the casket.
The butler brought them down.
He brought some fish eggs as well.
We don't like
Fish eggs?
caviar. It gives us
A rash. We get a terrible
rash.
And the paintings?
Yes, excellent. The ultraviolet infrared subsonar near radial pigment scans are showing us everything.
We are compiling all of the symbols in our transcypheronic cartoon navi processor locator program. The peripheral spectral dissector is picking out the symbols where?
With the coordinates.
The key.
And the rosewood casket.
The location.
And the contents?
Of the cave of the tortured soul
Will be ours.
Key? What key is this?
We found something on that Leonardo sketch. Mr. Y, have a look at it.
Yes, Miss X.
Yes, the key, Madame Furs, like the casket, is an essential component. It was the parchment in which the key was wrapped that told us to obtain the rosewood casket until, that is, the trapper cottoned on to our plan. Here is the translation of the Latin script on the parchment.
Oh my, how mysterious! For those of a steadfast and foolhardy nature, the legacy of the unnamed guild is held fast and deep in the cave of the tortured soul, and may only be acquired through the mighty influence of the marked casket of rosewood, the last heirloom. A device enwrapped within a simple key will allow the holder to gain passage into the cave. Gosh, that's quite thrilling! The thought of an undisturbed legacy. Just think of all those unplundered jewels and riches. Diamonds worn only by ladies of the court of the Borgia and Medici families.
Yes, quite.
And to think, all you need is a silly old key, a box, and a few numbers hidden in some pictures.
With these last paintings, we're getting the missing links in the chain. The locator should have a result in moments. It will appear on the screen.
And we'll be rich.
Rich.
Yes, rich.
Richer than rich.
And richer.
My kind of people, Miss X and Mr. Y. Perhaps it's time for some more champagne.